Life is short. Spend it with the people who make you laugh and feel loved. Okay, this is my Merry Christmas podcast coming to you from Villas of Chenal in Little Rock. I wanted to reflect a little bit on my, I guess, what happened on Christmas Eve, and talk a little bit about I watch a few Christmas movies, not very many. I went this year for Die Hard, and I know some people might not consider it a Christmas movie, but it does have Christmas music in there, and of course Bruce Willis has had some health difficulties with dementia. So that kind of relates to some of the things we're talking about with Parkinson's. But I found an interesting story, and I wanted to pass that on as I get into the fun things that I experienced on Christmas Eve. So enjoy. Okay, when you think about Bruce Willis and Die Hard, you don't really think about the explosive that they were using, but it did show in the movie that it was C4, and that C4 was an immediate trigger to me as to what had happened back in the days when the Lockerbie, Scotland tragedy happened, and the people who were killed there, some of the people on that flight were CIA, and they were also people who had connections to the U.S. government that they got from top secret violations, much like what we think about that happened down in Mar-a-Lago. That seems to be a non-event. It's serious, but as you can see here, a lot of documentation on this as to what happened and why it happened, and they were selling C4 to the Libyans, and of course the Libyans were the ones that were responsible for blowing the plane out of the air, and happened to be over Scotland. So I'm going to let you do your own research, or you can go back and read my article. As far as Kevin Mulcahy, he was probably one of my closest associates when I worked at the CIA. We had some interesting trips. We went down to Roslyn one time. They had a computer down there that we could go down and run some of our work. And he rode down there with me, and we went down and did our work. Again, this was the day of mainframe. You didn't have a lot of small computers, so you had to go use a mainframe because you tied up the computer, and that's one of the reasons I had top secret code word clearance, because I had access to a lot of information. But the funny story on Kevin was that we came back and it was raining a little bit, and of course we had our disk, and he said, let's go underneath the building there at Langley, and we did that, and of course that was probably a violation. So when we got there to get out, and we did get stopped by security, and we tried to explain what we were doing, and again, we should have gotten advance approval to going underneath the building. Of course, driving underneath the building would have been a potential for somebody with a bomb or something else, but we were able to avoid a security violation. But I was driving, and Kevin was instructing, so that was kind of a funny story. He was son of a former, I guess, CIA executive, and so he had a lot of issues with drinking and smoking, and so I understand what happened maybe when he died out in Appalachia, but it's still, he had a lot of national publicity because of things he had done to turn in some people. One of our first visitors on Christmas Eve was Cowboy Dale White. He was lamenting that Trump was going to take away his daylight savings time, and he may just not take it, maybe just take his vote back. Then on Christmas Eve, we had the sharing of gifts, something that Christy had looked forward to. And we had Cooper and his fiancée, Samia. And we had, of course, others there. We had Craig, her son. And we had Sophie, our granddaughter, and Wendy. And they all joined in, and we all had a great time together. We were watching a few clips on the TV of the Grinch, and that's one of the things that kind of brought on the laughter, but it was a fun visit for us to be together and enjoy some pizza and enjoy some time together. This year has been really great. We had some time together at Thanksgiving, and here we are at Christmas. Christy was enjoying her gifts, and she was taking her time and opening them. I think there was a video going on there with the Grinch, and these were kind of fun things, and so it was taking her a time. Eventually she gets this open, and there are puzzles and a lot of games and a lot of things to keep her occupied during the winter months, but it was a well-received gifts. Everybody had something they liked, and it was, as usual, a good time together. We had just finished up our pizza and the dessert, and we had come into the living area, which again, I think our home here in the Villas is very accommodating, being open where you can serve a meal and then go into the living area and have space for a lot of people, or a family or others, and not feel crowded in any case in any room. So we enjoyed that time together, and we're going to do some things differently tomorrow, where we'll have brunch at Craig and Wendy's, and we'll have family, and then we'll have some other friends. Christy's developed a friend that takes her a lot of places, and they have a good relationship, and it's been great for her to have that, where she can be doing things independently.
All right.
Here, I'll squat in the front. I'll squat like this.
So I was like, Sophie should be in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sophie used to be in the middle. I'll do on the outside. There you go. There you go, Wendy. Oh, come here. You can do the sorority squat, Wendy. This makes us look younger.
Sophie, you
Is
go
the
that way.
desert really?
Or at least look it up.
2, 3. All right.
Thank you.
Nice sitting on the floor.
You didn't get that for Christmas?
It's
Now, what is it, Morrow plays in the...
And then like maybe he plays this. And there were,
He does not. He does not. What does he play in the band?
Trombone in it.
Trombone, that's that big,
was just thinking people.
the big trombone.
Okay, Morrow, or as I call him, Super Mario, from the Duke band, plays trombone, and he is a friend of Sophie, and he is going to be here this weekend.
I was saying we didn't have any more.
We do.
we actually had 2 more bottles. Sophie bought one too. I had Sophie.
You want to do this?
Sorry, Cooper.
Oh, did you want some? Yeah, we
You're
got
on. I appreciate it.
Okay, let's have some music.
Oh my word.
They're tuning up.
That one was a loud one.
Everybody's
Sorry.
eyes
I saw you stretching over
Everybody's eyes are okay, right? Shoot your around.
had that.
It's Cooper's.
Oh, it's for next year? Maybe these kind of.
Well, I knew you could. Cute. How long did it take y'all to do it? The Merry Christmas room? That's chimney. Cute. Maybe a little bit. It was all so good, Wendy. It was great. And where'd you get those little things at Trader Joe's? Were they in the refrigerator section?
Well, I figured I would have
Trader Joe's has some amazing
They
stuff.
do. I never go there, but Robin and Karen had those.
So,
Christmas
on
Eve
Christmas
here,
Eve,
in our new neighborhood,
as the point where it had stopped any hard rain, but you'll see a few raindrops. I decided to take the electric wheelchair. Now I do take a light with me so that people can see me in case there's cars coming. Not typically a problem meeting a car, but somebody coming up behind might have some difficulty. So I had to watch for that, and you'll see times I had just to pull over and get out of the way or stop for a while. But in going around the neighborhood, I was a little bit surprised the lack of Christmas lights and decorations, and then I had to think about that a little bit because you do have a senior gated community, so there's not going to be a whole lot of people come there to drive around and look at lights. Plus, unless you have kids or grandkids frequenting the area, there wouldn't be a lot of reasons to do that. And another reason I found was that a lot of people may be gone this time of the year. Now here is Ray Tucker. Now you may know him from all the sports he's done in Arkansas. He currently does radio work or announcing for Little Rock as far as their basketball.
See those very often.
And so he's a good neighbor. He comes and does the bingo at times and other things, but he, along with Dave Woodman, are a great friend, and also, been in the media business in Little Rock for years, so everybody knows Ray Tucker and they know Dave Woodman. Now, if you've watched some of my podcasts previously, you'll find that I've come across a neighbor who was a business associate or a RCA and Whirlpool dealer with my dad, and has a lot of funny, great stories about them going to Frankline trips. And his comment, you can go back and see it, but he called my dad a hell of a man. And then another neighbor, a couple that were a long time, oil associates with Steve Lair and Steve Turner. So they have a lot of stories along those lines. I think they were actually, because of the membership of the marketing board with Steve Turner, had more association with him maybe than Steve Lair, but still they had a lot of stories and interest to talk about. But as you go down the neighborhood here, you can see that I'm moving along pretty good, and then eventually I think there'll be a car come up behind me, and I will pull over, but you can see that there's a slope that I'm coming to I'm able to make it okay, but getting out and about and doing something is important. It was kind of funny. I was at a Christmas activity, and one of the children of the owners of this community came up to me, and she appreciated the fact that I was getting out, and they were seeing me out in this electric wheelchair, and I thought, well, I have to pass that information on to people that might be a little bit skeptical of what I'm doing here. But as you see, I'm going up a grade here, and on the right side is the physical activity area, and we go there for men's meetings occasionally, but it's a place you can go and exercise. And again, I don't know that I've ever been there when there's very many there, but it is an opportunity to do something and do it nearby to where I live. As you can see, my voice gets a little bit ragged at times. That may be due to Parkinson's, it may be due to other issues, but getting out in the night in a kind of a rainy, dreary evening might not help either. But I wanted to get a feel for what it's like. This is something that might take 10 minutes on the electric basically device, a mobility device, to get around this area, and then sometimes it might take a little bit longer if you stop and talk to people. So that's not going to happen tonight. You see occasional people on the road, not very many, but some will be pulling in and get to their garage and get out pretty fast because of the opportunities there. Trying to avoid the rain, but there's not a whole lot of excitement on this trip. And again, I think you're going to see as I go through this that there'll be times that we'll just kind of speed it up a little bit. And the purpose there is just to show you some of what's going on, but not spend a lot more time on this because there's not a whole lot to show. And again, it's always nice when the weather's good to see and stop and talk to people, because you meet a lot of people that way. Much easier than, say, just driving around in a car, because you're exposed and you are in a situation where people are very friendly, so that works too. And there's certain days of the week where you have trash and you have recycle, so on those days in the evenings there's always people getting their trash ready and getting it out to the street, and so you might see that. And amazingly, a lot of people who are walking dogs. Dogs are a popular pet, and so you see all kinds of small and medium and even larger dogs out, and all those people, I think Christy, because she regularly takes Ozzy out for walks, and she follows this path many times. She may go the shorter route at times, but most of the time she goes with the idea of taking a good trip for the dog, and maybe even going around it twice. But various days when the weather's nice and she can enjoy the trip, because she needs it for her exercise. So you'll see that too. But as you can see, I think my camera is getting a little bit fogged up with all the moisture out there. So we'll stop it here. So the next part is from December 2023, not 19. I wanted to go back since it wasn't viewed by very many people. There were some interesting things that I talked about then. And again, prior to moving to Little Rock, I was talking more in terms of a docu-series. So you'll see a few things referencing that. But it was all about finding your happy place. So there's some common ground there that most people haven't seen, and it gives a little more history on how this podcast came about. So enjoy.
Sitting around the Christmas tree today with my British Bulldog cap and enjoying my eggnog and reflecting on why I chose Love Actually as my go-to Christmas movie. It might be a surprise to some people, but I think there's a few things in here that catch my attention right away. Of course, the Prime Minister's dance, and that's a great scene, as well as the part where they use Joni Mitchell, both sides. I used a more upbeat version from the recent movie about people with hearing disabilities as a choice for introducing people from rock-steady boxing, both in their younger days and in their professional days. And you'll see a few clips in here where I kind of interact with when I use the Mr. Six of the old commercials as part of the music, and then other things that I use to kind of bring it up to date. And some of the videos I used about 25 years ago and going to the airport, and I thought they were kind of appropriate for the part where Mr. Bean is working at the store and helping with the shopping. I think customer service is always an interesting part of a movie like this, and of course in this case the guy's buying a necklace for his girlfriend, and that's where the both sides comes in later on, where his wife maybe is expecting a nice gift, and she gets the CD with the Joni Mitchell, both sides, and then there's the part where she stays with him, and then there's other things that come out and some of the music. So I think it's a real enjoyable movie, and it's got a lot of things in it that reflect on life and how people with differences can get along, and being able to encourage others. And there's a thing about, we talk about in the docuseries, finding your happy place, and sometimes that's the encouragement of others, and you'll see here that happens in rocksteady boxing and also in this movie where they're encouraged by unlikely people. So that's something to keep in mind when you're dealing with people with disabilities, that sometimes encouragement from unlikely sources is a great of importance as people deal with those difficulties and getting older.
Let me tell you, girl, you my little boo thing, so I don't give a hoot what you do. Say, girl, I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl, I know. Tell him I'm next. Tell him you find a little something too fresh, I know. Tell him I'm next. Tell him you find a little something too fresh, I know. Put a little gold in the teeth and it fit good, so I took the doors out the Jeep. Okay, I see a brother holding your seat, no beef, but I'm trying to get to know you at least. Don't.
Okay, I'm sitting around the Christmas tree today, enjoying a little of my Gadberry water, and thinking about my go-to Christmas movie. Maybe a surprise, but Love Actually is the choice. And the reason for that is, Love Actually has a lot of great scenes in it, but it also has a lot of great stories in it. I enjoy it because it's a mixture of a lot of people who are different characters and
and trying to overcome differences, and there's a lot of fun things, a lot of sad things, and a lot of things that you have to think about, where things that happen to people and how they recover from those things. And so I wanted to use that because it fits in very nicely with my docuseries, Finding Your Happy Place. And there's a lot of things about overcoming differences, not just about disabilities, but people with different cultures and different backgrounds, and even different religions, how they've overcome differences. And that's a key thought that I wanted to use in this, in this movie, and also how it fits in with some of the thoughts that I've kind of brought forward in the docuseries. So I hope you enjoy it. As well as the part where they use Joni Mitchell, both sides. I used a more upbeat version from the recent movie about people with hearing disabilities as a choice for introducing people from rock-steady boxing, both in their younger days and in their professional days. And you'll see a few clips.
Looking for anything in particular, sir?
Yes, that necklace there, how much is it?
It's £270.
All right, I'll have it.
Lovely. Would you like it gift wrapped?
Yes, all right.
Lovely.
If you look for it, I've got a sneaky feeling you'll find that love actually is all around.
And God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows.
Flows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feathered canyons everywhere.
Okay, the reason for the choice is that life is hard, church is hard, everything is hard if you aren't able to overcome differences with people, and this is what this story is all about, and this is what this movie is all about.
I feel it in my fingers, I feel it in my toes, I feel it in my toes, yeah. Love is all around me, and so the thing.
I'm afraid you did it again, Bill.
It's just I know the old version so well,
Well, we all do. That's why we're making the new version.
Right, okay, let's go. I feel it in my fingers, I feel it in my toes, feel it in my toes, yeah. Love is all around.
Rose and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feathered canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and dunes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let 'em know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to
Give you all that you need. Wrap your love around me. You're so excited, I can feel you getting hotter. Oh baby, I'll take you down. I'll take you down. Where no one's ever gone before. And if you want more, if you want more, then jump for my love. Jump in and feel my touch. Jump if you want to take my kisses in the night. Jump for my love. I'll take you down. I'll take you down. Where no one's ever gone.
Yeah. Mary, I've been thinking. Can we move the Japanese ambassador?
Anything in particular, sir?
Yes, that necklace there, how much is it?
It's £270.
All right, I'll have it.
Lovely. Would you like it gift wrapped?
Yes, all right.
Lovely. Let me just pop it in the box. There.
Look, could we be quite quick?
Certainly, sir. Ready in the flashiest of flashes. There.
It's great.
Not quite finished.
Look, actually, I don't need a bag. I'll just put it in my pocket.
No, this isn't a bag, sir.
Really?
This is so much more than a bag.
Could we be quite quick, please?
Prontissimo.
What's that?
It's a cinnamon stick, sir.
Actually, I really can't wait.
Oh, you won't regret it, sir.
Want to bet?
It is but the work of a moment. There we go. Almost finished.
Almost finished. What else can that be? You're going to dip it in yogurt? Cover it with chocolate buttons?
Who knows? We're going to pop it in the Christmas box.
But I don't want a Christmas box.
But you said you wanted it gift wrapped.
I did.
This is the final flourish.
Can I just pay?
All we need now
Oh, God.
is a sprig of holly.
No bloody holly.
But sir,
Leave it, just leave it.
I want to choose mine. I think I want...
This one. I have, of course, bought the traditional scarf as well, but this is my other slightly special, personal one.
Thank you. That's a real first.
Rip it. What is it?
I'm going to... All right, I'll rip it. God, that's a surprise.
What is it?
It's a CD. Joni Mitchell, wow.
To continue your emotional education.
Yes. Goodness. That's great.
My brilliant wife.
Ah, yes. Actually, do you mind if I just absent myself for a second? All that ice cream. Darling, could you just make sure the kids are ready to go?
All right, no.
I'll be back in a minute.
You're all right.
Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way that you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. And you leave them laughing when you go. And if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take.
Ice cream castles in the air and feathered canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, and now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at a life that way. And now old friends, they're acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from a win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions
For those making a spiritual connection, I have JJ and his sermon.
That I call it a poem, but basically just this writing is called Church is Hard. I'm going to read it for you. It says, church is hard for the person walking through the doors afraid of being judged. Church is hard for the pastor's family under the microscope of an entire body. Church is hard for the prodigal soul returning home, broken and battered by the world. Church is hard for the person who looks like they have it all together, but certainly doesn't. Church is hard for the couple who fought the entire ride to service. Church is hard for the single mom surrounded by couples holding hands with seemingly perfect families. Church is hard for the widow or widower with no invitation to lunch after service. Church is hard for the person who feels like they're not part of the group. Church is hard for the parent with an estranged child. Church is hard for sinners. Church is hard for me. It's hard because on the outside it all looks shiny and perfect, Sunday best in behavior and dress. However, underneath those layers, you find a body of imperfect people, carnal souls, selfish motives. But here's the beauty of church. Church isn't a building, a mentality, or expectation. Church is a body. Church is a group of sinners saved by grace, living in fellowship as saints. Church is a body of believers bound as brothers and sisters by an eternal love. Church is a holy ground where sinners stand as equals before the throne of God. Church is a refuge for broken hearts and a training ground for mighty warriors. Church is a converging of confrontation and invitation, where sin is confronted and hearts are invited to seek restoration. Church is a lesson in faith and trust. Church is a bearer of burdens and giver of hope. Church is a family coming together, setting aside differences, forgetting past mistakes, rejoicing in the smallest of victories. Church, the body, and the circles of sinner-turned saints is where He resides. And if we ask, He is faithful to come. Now, I don't know about you, but when I read about that, that's the type of church I want to be a part of. A body, a coming together, a family, something that truly feels like home, because now you are the body of Christ and we are all part of it. See, it's not about following rules. It's about becoming a body that loves one another, that accepts one another, and includes one another. It's not a preacher. It's not a group of elders. It's not a worship minister. It's all of us. If we want to have this type of church, we need to be this type of church. And once again, I'm not lecturing to you. I'm speaking to myself, and you're just listening. Because I'm telling myself, this is how I need to be, and I'd love to have as many of you follow along with me as possible. Because someday I'm going to be judged, and I would rather err on the side of including too many people than excluding anybody. That's what we need to be. That's the type of church I want for Chenal Valley Church. If you'd stand with me.
Merry Christmas, make the Yuletide gay. For now all our troubles will be miles away.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit ring. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some carol.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas.
Okay, the importance of the following video covers a period at the time I was in Harrison, Arkansas, a 50-year span, so you'll see the changes that Travolta had.
Two, give me two, let's go.
Attention, in order to facilitate your shipping needs, I'd like to remind you that all packages must be properly wrapped. This one is an example of go home and do it again. I think you knew what I mean, Mrs. Vagushin. Brown paper and triple twist twine are the preferred media. Thank you.
So give it 3 big rings to spread. There you go. Congratulations, Miss Diana. We'll be seeing you for lab draws and whatnot, but
thank you.
the hard part's behind you.
The hard part's behind me. You did good. Thank you all so much. Yeah.
Double, don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. You worry, you make it double, don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. You worry, you make.
Okay, we end with Parkinson's awareness, and again, finding your happy place.